Stocks closed sharply higher on Wall Street despite rising yields. Asian markets trade with gains, while the GIFT Nifty too is indicating a higher start for the Indian market. Brent trades near $90 a barrel, but slightly corrects on expectations of a deal between the US and Venezuela to ease sanctions on oil exports. Higher crude prices also weigh on the rupee, which closes at a record low of around 83.28 per dollar on Monday. HDFC Bank reports a mixed bag for the second quarter. Profit at nearly 16,000 crore rupees beats expectations, but net interest income of over 27,000 crore rupees marginally misses street estimates as the cost of funds rises. This is the bank's first earnings report after the big merger with HDFC. And in key earnings to track today, Bajaj Finance could report declining net interest margin in the second quarter. Also watch for earnings from L&T Tech Services and ICICI Prudential Life. US President Joe Biden will visit Israel on Wednesday for talks with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, even as Iran threatens preemptive action against Israel, leading to a potential escalation of the conflict in West Asia. Meanwhile, the IDF says that over 6 lakh Gazans have fled the south after the Israeli warning. Hey guys, good morning and welcome to Power Breakfast. I'm Pavitra Parekh. Those are the top headlines that we have for you this Tuesday morning. The handover from the US has been positive. That is why, most of these global markets are trading well in the green right now. As always, let's kickstart the show by taking a look at what's really happening across the Asian markets, because it is a green screen whichever market you look at for a change. So what's leading the gains this morning is the Japanese market. That's up almost a full percent, a little bit actually over 1% now for the Nikkei index. You also have the Hang Seng market, which is up 0.7%. The Taiwanese index is seeing gains of around 0.4%. And actually, all Asian markets are up at least 0.3% to around 1%, like I mentioned. So it's a good looking screen across Asia. The GIFT Nifty will also come up for you, and it is indicating that the start for our own markets after that very range-bound kind of session could be well in the green. Around 75 points is where the implied open for our own markets is this morning. So that's what's really going on across Asia. But for the US markets, we had Wall Street indices which ended sharply higher on Monday in a broad-based rally, even as bond yields climbed in the US. So the Dow was up over 300 points, like you can see in your screen, 315 points higher. Both the S&P 500 and the tech-heavy Nasdaq index also finished around 1% in the green. And now, in terms of what we should track from the US, it is expected to be a very earnings-heavy week, right? So we have earnings from Johnson & Johnson, Bank of America, Netflix, Tesla. So all of these very big companies in focus ahead of their results. And in terms of data, investors will also be keeping an eye out on the industrial output, retail sales, housing starts. All of that important data is also due this week. So it is going to be very heavy in those terms. But speaking of the US, let's listen into some important comments from US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, as well as former Atlanta Fed President Dennis Lockhart on the state of the US economy and their take on the key inflation trends that we're seeing right now.